There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert from Jobs180.com, and welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live. Now, this session is done for and in coordination with Bulacan Agricultural State College, University of Visayas, and World City Colleges. Before we proceed, I would like to invite everyone to join us in prayer. Good afternoon again, everyone, and thank you for coming. Tinitingnan ko ang ating comment section and I could see na meron na tayong mga kasama ngayon. Thank you very much again for coming. We would also like to thank in advance the companies that will be presenting later. So later, we will have different topics and different representatives from different companies. Okay. We would also like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Get the latest fashion trends for your corporate attire needs. Check out CEO Store in Lazada and Shopee or at the nearest mall in your area. For career opportunities, visit jobs180.com/CEO Group. Okay, so aside from our industry partners, of course, we want to thank the school partners, and school representatives. So that being said, to start things off, we have opening remarks from representatives from the three participating schools. So we will be sharing the opening remarks to you, which will be done in alphabetical order. So first, from Bulacan Agricultural State College, we have the opening remarks from Dr. Jennifer P. Adriano, your Director for the Office of Student Affairs and Services.
Good day to all of you, to my dear graduating students, to all my colleagues, and to all the officials of this institution, the Bulacan Agricultural State College. A blessed day to all of us. Graduation ceremony of this academic year 2021 is fast approaching. So the Student Welfare Unit under the Office of the Students Affairs and Services decided to conduct the pre-employment orientation webinar and job fair in partnership of Jobs 180 for you, my dear students. Because after your graduation, you will enter the corporate world wherein you will use the knowledge and skills that you've learned in your 4 years stayed here at BASC. Another milestone in your life is to find job. Ito na ang panibagong yugto ng buhay nyo na kung saan lahat ng pinaghirapan nyo ng 4 na taon sa dalubasaang ito ay magagamit nyo na. Maghahanap na kayo ng trabaho na kung saan ito na ang simula ng pagbibigay nyo ng magandang buhay para sa inyong pamilya. But always remember that when you enter the corporate world, you will failed over and over and over again in your life. And because of that failure, I know that you will succeed in your life. With that, again, congratulations and good luck and welcome to the corporate world.
Thank you, Dr. Adriana, for the message, for your opening remarks. Next, we have another message from the Bulacan Agricultural State College. This one is from the message from the President, your President, Dr. Jameson H. Tan.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our pre-employment orientation seminar or webinar, Marketing Me. This seminar or webinar is part of our efforts to help our students achieve their goals in securing future jobs. To meet future employers as well as reputable and well-established companies, representatives and some of the most influential individuals in our community. This webinar will teach you, our students, how to prepare resume and proper decorum in job interview. This webinar is through the initiative of the Office of Student Affairs and Services and the Student Welfare Services Units and Jobs180.com and the Department of Labor and Employment. I thank you all the participants to this webinar because after the first part will be the first ever virtual career job fair. Congratulations and I wish you the best in your future endeavor. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Dr. Tan, for preparing this message for our participants. Now, last message from BASC. We have the statement of purpose This is to be given by Mr. Herbert Anthony V. Roberto, the head of your Student Welfare Services Unit.
Good day, graduating students. We at the Student Welfare and Services Unit of the Office of Student Affairs and Services of Bulacan Agricultural State College are very confident that you are very ready to enter the new stage in your lives as career individuals. You are equipped with all the learnings relevant to your academics that can be so useful when you apply those on your own workplace. And for this last moment, as students, we are still here to assist you, most especially on your preparations for your job hunting and applications. This program prepared for you will be just a simple review on the matters about resume writing and on the event of having job interviews. This will lead into the enhancement of necessary skills that you need as you face your future employers. Also, this webinar will be an opportunity for everyone to have additional ideas on how to apply your learned skills in a new normal work environment. We all know that it is not that easy to make some adjustments, but having preparations like this, it will surely make an add-ons on the level of confidence that you have. I am expecting that at the end of the activity, all of you, dear participants, will now be ready to embrace the nature of being professional workers. Have a great time, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Roberto, for sharing the statement of the purpose of our webinar. Now, we would like to share remarks provided by the University of Visayas from another school. So earlier, it's from BASC. Now, from the University of the Visayas, we have Queen Henilur S. Relatores, CCJE Faculty, CCJE Chair, Student Services Quality Circle.
Hello, good day everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to our UV Pre-Employment Orientation Part 1 in collaboration with Jobs 180. As part of the university's effort to help its students to achieve their goals in securing future jobs, the Student Affairs Services started this career fair. In this event, our student will have the opportunity to shed light to reputable and well-established companies. Doing this pre-employment orientation, the university wanted you, our dear students, to be inspired to work hard and to commit to your pursuit future goals. From the theme, Marketing Me, UV wanted to instill to your dear students to pursue your dreams with due diligence, teaching you to seize the day and explore every opportunity will no doubt assist you on your journey and your path to succeed. This program will teach you the importance of building one's career path. Knowing and determining where you wanted to go and how to get there will most certainly facilitate your search for the right and most suitable career that will help you enrich and make a difference in your respective community. Before I will end my speech, allow me to extend my deep thanks and utmost appreciation to the Students Affairs and Services Center under the leadership of Dr. Crispy Velasco, to our dear students, and to our sponsor, who, despite the odds, made this event possible. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ms. Relatores, for representing UV during our event. Lastly, we have remarks from World City Colleges. So World City Colleges would be represented by Ms. Myrene Joy N. Perez, your guidance head.
A pleasant afternoon to all of you. We are gathered here today to participate in a virtual career webinar. We're almost one step ahead in choosing the path that we're going to take for our future. As we grow, we begin to encounter harder situations that require wiser decisions, which becomes the reason of our minds to mature and to create new sorts of options that can change our former goals and dreams. My dear students, your decision to make commitment to a particular career is not something you can think of on a whim. It is an entire process that takes a lot of exploring, contemplating, and planning. That is why it's very important to know where we want to start in the future. By the end of this webinar, I hope each one of us will take home new information and knowledge that shall help us decide whether to change our plans or pursue the dreams that we want in the present. I hope we will make the right decision that will take us to the right path in achieving our goals in life. So always remember, students, to please stay humble while striving for the best. Good afternoon and good luck to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Once again, that's Miss Mayrene Perez, Guidance Head of WCC. So that's it for our remarks. So just a few announcements before we begin. For those online, we ask to comment your name, school, course, and year of graduation. So looking at the comments, I think aware yung iba na ito ang hihingin namin sa inyong info. Once again, that's your name, school, course, and year of graduation. Pwede nyo na rin lagay yan. So I see that you are using the comment box. Keep in mind na itong comment box na to, we will be using it later as well for the question and answer portion ng ating webinar. Okay? So now I would like to share our topics. So the flow is that merong one topic and then we have one company representing and answering yung mga questions nyo later sa Q&A after ng kanilang presentation. So our topics are, one, ResumeLink. One will be represented by jobs180.com, communication skills and interview tips, given by CDO Food Sphere. And then new normal work environment, we have 3 representatives from Cognizant. And lastly, labor education for graduating students. And we have a representative from Dole. Okay, so we are now ready to go through our first topic, which again is the ResumeLink to be given by jobs180.com. I would now be introducing our first speaker. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide. Let's now all turn our attention to the Managing Director of Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan ang tinatawag nating ResumeLink. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano ito magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume ito, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat. This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, This is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kina-account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Ilagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating ko sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang tourism at pang HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo, din 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Na ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, 'di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, 'di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, diba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is, you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay. Ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So, kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So, I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So, you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes, a picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kayang-kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pero nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So, you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon ang dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat yung gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So, bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang ang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills o sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets mo ibig sabihin, wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pa nakita na HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigay mo ng resume link, updated na sila real time. As in real time. Diba? Ayos, diba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun, no? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So you're now thinking, okay ito paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka na 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position na in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan. Tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page. Para tipid na. O, diba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang, wag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number one, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate. No? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your job street resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs on 80, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang job street resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay. Tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, 'di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. 'Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin sa jobs180.com or email me here sa info@jobs180.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo na nagsasabing be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Okay, so once again, that was Sir Kim's presentation on the resume link. We have Sir Kim here with us for the Q&A. Remind ko lang ang ating audience na pwede nyo i-type ang inyong comments, ang inyong questions dyan sa comment box. So, I see kina-comment nyo naman details nyo. So, there, pwede nyo rin lagay ang inyong questions. In the meantime, Sir Kim, I have a question for you regarding dun sa valid email na gagamitin ng ating audience. So, technically, ang valid email includes yung mga school-provided email. So, anong comment mabibigay mo regarding this?
Okay, thank you, Sir Robert. For those who have already registered using your official school, mali. For those who have registered using the official school email that was assigned to you, no, because some of the schools who are listening here right now, meron pong mga email addresses na inassign po sa inyo while you're still studying in that school. Now, I recommend you start to edit na. Punta kayo sa account nyo at i-edit mo na to your personal email. Why? Because I don't want you to have the trouble of trying to remind pa yourself to update it pag nag-graduate na kayo sa school ninyo. Sigurado naman ako gagraduate kayo di ba? O sino bang hindi naniniwalang gagraduate kayo? Diba? Sure ako gagraduate kayo sooner or later. Now, when you graduate, you have to remind yourself pa to edit that email to your personal email para maka-receive kayo ng mga notification or invitation coming from Jobs on 80 as well as yung mga company partners natin. So, ngayon pa lang, baguhin nyo na. Yun yung recommend ko. Na huwag nyo nang patagalin pa kasi makakalimutan na lang yan. Now, those people naman who are listening now na wala pa pong resume link, then wag mo nang gamitin. Yun yung recommend ko. Wag mo nang gamitin yung school issued official email addresses ninyo. Gamitin mo na lang po ang personal email ninyo para sigurado tayo na kahit na later on graduate na kayo, you don't have to remind yourself to edit pa that specific email address because you'll be receiving continuously yung mga invitation at notification through your personal email. Okay? So I hope na-answer ko yun, yung reminder na yan.
Okay, thank you, Sir Kim. I think adequately answered naman ang question. Sir Kim, gusto ko highlight yung nagsuscroll dyan sa ilalim ng screen. So, yan, schools.jobs180.com/ kung ano mang letters nandyan. Can you explain?
Maraming letters to, sir.
Can you explain kung ano tong mga nakikita natin dito at kung ano makikita kapag pumunta sila sa link?
Okay. Sige, salamat Sir Robert. Remind ko ulit sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, ano ba tong mga nagsuscroll na to? Because there are 3 schools right now that we have invited to join this webinar. Namely, we have the Bulacan Agricultural State College. So ang inyo pong school link ay schools.jobs180.com/BASC. For those naman who are from University of the Visayas, ang school link po ninyo, yung career portal link ninyo ay schools.jobs180.com/UV. And, syempre, di ba, yung para sa mga taga World City Colleges, ang school link naman ninyo, yung career portal link nyo ay schools.jobs180.com/WCC. Okay? Now, ano ba tong mga link na binanggit ko? Okay, with respect to your schools, ito pong mga career portal na ay ginawa po ni jobs180.com para i-highlight yung mga industry partners ng school ninyo. So, ano expected? When you go to this link, you'll be able to see companies there, primarily yung mga industry partners po ng school ninyo, as well as yung mga company partners din ni jobs180.com. So later on, we have also invited a lot of other speakers pa na mapapakinggan ninyo. You can also find them there doon po sa mga kanya-kanyang link po ninyo. Now, maybe some of you are wondering, Sir Kim, pwede ba ako ay taga University of Visayas, pwede ba ako pumunta doon sa link ng World City College? Of course, pwede. No, hindi naman natin sinasabing bawal pumunta sa link na yan. Pero syempre, mas maganda punta ka sa school link ninyo, sa career portal link ninyo kasi doon nyo po makikita yung about your school. Diba? But then again, if just to answer your question, pwede ba ako magtingin-tingin sa iba? Pwede naman po. Wala naman pong bawal. No? And then you can also create your resume link. You can register through those pages, through those career portal or the links that are flash on the screen. Okay? In case lang, hindi nyo maalala yung mga link na yan, pwede rin kayo pumunta sa jobs180.com at doon kayo mag-register ng resume link ninyo. Okay? So we're giving you all these options para hindi kayo mahirapan gumawa ng resume link at makahanap ng possible companies na applyan. Okay?
Thank you, Sir Kim. Sir Kim, one very quick follow-up question. What if my expected na event, especially yung career fair, virtual career fair ng isang school, tapos pumunta sila sa school site nila, ano naman ma-expect nila?
Yun. Tamang-tama yung tanong mo, Sir Robert, kasi ito yung panahon, ito yung season kung saan hindi lang tayo puro webinars at seminars, we are also helping your schools, a lot of schools po, to power their career fair or yung job fair kung tawagin. But since we cannot do physical events right now, we're doing virtual career fairs. So anong expectation? Pag meron na po kayong resume link, pag may Jobs 180 account na po kayo, every time you will log in, okay, meron kayo makikita doon mga possible mga announcements. At isa po sa mga pwedeng mangyari ay kung yung school ninyo meron pong hinahandang virtual career fair, magkakaroon po ng pop-up na message. May bubulaga doon, no? Sasabihin sa'yo, you are invited to attend the virtual career fair of your school, of your alma mater. At ang pwede mo lang gawin, napakasimple. Just click join. Click mo lang yung join. Ganun kasimple. And then you'll be getting reminders na and the details of the said event, the date and the time. So yun yung mga expected natin na mangyari pag kayo ay meron ng resume link. Now for those pages naman na pinapakita natin, ganun din. Ilalabas din natin dun sa kanya-kanyang school portal ninyo yung invitation na sinasabi ko may pop-up. No, lalabas siya kapag kayo po ay part po nung school na yon. So ibig ko sabihin, kung ako po ay sample ko na lang kung ako po ay taga BASC at meron pong virtual career fair gagawin si BASC, magkakaroon po ng pop-up na message kapag ikaw ay nag-register na ikaw ay graduate or alumni or student ng BASC sa inyo pong resume link. Okay, same thing din to para kay WCC, pati na rin po kay University of the Visayas. So ganun din para sa mga taga-UV, gumawa na kayo ng account nyo, you never know, baka magkaroon tayo ng virtual career fair soon dyan po sa Cebu. Okay, so what better way to do it? Do it through the resume link. Click-click lang ng button. Makaka-join ka na kagad ng mga virtual career fair. Ayos?
Okay, thank you, Sir
Ayos.
Kim. I think
Ah.
may idea na ang ating audience kung paano sila makakasali sa virtual career fair. Okay, Sir Kim, this is all the time we have for our Q&A. So, magbababay na kami sa'yo.
Sige
And
po.
thank you for giving your talk sa resume link and for answering yung questions ko for specifically sa career fair nila lalo.
Alright,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you po. Maraming salamat. Be safe everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was our first topic. Move on na tayo sa ating second topic. As mentioned earlier, it's communication skills and interview tips. I would now introduce our speaker. Kathy is a graduate of BA Behavioral Sciences from UP Manila. She's been with CDO Food Sphere Incorporated for almost 4 years now. Currently, she is a supervisor in HR recruitment. Let's all welcome Miss Kathy Claire Velasquez. Good afternoon,
Hi. Hello again, Robert. Good afternoon.
Miss. So, ito ulit tayo. So, I think testing
Yeah.
na po na ang
All
ating
right.
speaker.
Okay. Let me just share my screen.
Okay. So, while Miss Casey sharing her screen, again, inform ko ang audience that you can use the comment box. Type niyo dyan ang inyong question para matanong natin kay Miss Casey. Hindi kailangan na hintayin matapos yung talk bago nyo i-type. Anytime during the talk, pwede nyo na type dyan. Okay, Miss Casey, I could see your screen. Full screen siya. Audio, video is fine. So, as usual, I'll be heading backstage. Tapos balik na lang for the Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Robert. All right. Hi, good afternoon, students, fresh graduates, and job seekers from three schools, no? Bulacan Agricultural State College, World City Colleges, and University of the Visayas. I hope everyone is doing well and safe and healthy now, no? My name is Kathy Claire, as introduced, but I prefer to be called Casey. And I'm a recruiter from CDO Food Sphere Inc. for almost 4 years now. So my topic for today's session is giving you tips in acing job interviews. So to start with my presentation, I know most of you students are now excited to graduate and land a successful job. However, before landing that dream job, you'll need to prepare several things for the job interview. Interviews are your chance to sell your skills and abilities. This is also your chance to find out if the job and the company are right for you. So I have here some tips on how to prepare for the virtual interviews. Tip number 1 would be research the company before the interview. So this is the most basic tip, guys. Do your research. During interviews, it is important for us to know, for us employers and hiring managers, to know how interested you are in applying in our company. This is being manifested on how well you know our company, our products and services we offer. We have, just to share, no, we have experienced someone share during the initial interview that their favorite food for breakfast is the competitor's product, which is an automatic minus point for the applicant because of obvious reasons, diba? Next is tip number 2, answer questions using experience. Rather than giving hypothetical answers like, if that happens to me, I will do this, I will do that. Much better if you could relate scenarios like, I can relate that experience. During my stay in my college, I was elected as a student president of the student body council, and I have spearheaded most of the programs, and they were all successful. Pwede rin regarding the time management, no, I could relate my managing my time, no, in terms of back in college, I was a part-time student and also a part-time worker. So I was able to graduate while managing both of my academics and work. In that way, we can assess better how you handle certain situations rather than yung hypothetical na kapag nangyari sa akin to, baka ma'am, ito yung gagawin ko. No? Mas important yung concrete examples. Tip number 3 would be, give your full attention during interview. Since you are at home, so dahil pandemic, no, the current trend now is to conduct virtual interviews. So since you're at home, make sure you find the most conducive place to have your online interview. And also, very important is to inform your family members or kung sino man yung kasama nyo sa bahay that you have a scheduled interview to avoid having them distract or call you in the middle of the call. Other types of distractions may be barks of your pet if you have one, pwedeng cry of your baby sister, siblings, or anak, no? And some probably would be noise coming from televisions. There. Um, this may greatly affect your interview because once you're distracted, it may sometimes affect your answer as well as make sure to give your full attention, no? Tip number 4 would be provide honest answers. So recruiters are trained to detect if you are telling the truth or lying. So better to answer honestly. Paano ba namin ginagawa yon? We make sure when you say a certain statement, we do follow-up questions or paikutin lang namin yung scenario that you've shared para malaman namin if aligned ba lahat ng statements, no? Next would be, yan. So, bakit din importante to share information honestly? This way, we can endorse you to a role that will fit your background or your interest better. So, to share my experience, no, before I started my career in recruitment, when I was a fresh graduate, I started applying in CDO. I was interviewed for a training position role in HR. However, I'm not really interested in the training. No? During the initial interview, I really expressed my intent that I'd like to be profiled for the recruitment position. So, syempre, it didn't work out. But then a couple of weeks, I got a call again na may opening naman for recruitment. Baka you're interested to reapply at so that's how I started my career in recruitment. Next would be be that's tip number 5. Avoid using pajamas, wear a blouse or a collared shirt. This is a way of telling the interviewer that you are prepared for the meeting. This goes as well with the environment, with your environment. So make sure to clean the area that can be seen in the video. So hindi naman necessarily buong bahay, no? Kung anong sakop ng video, no? And because this would give you a good impression or organized. Tip number 6, be on time. So, isa pa sa most basic, no? Actually, if you can, be early to give you enough time to check if your audio, your internet, or your audio or video are working, no? This is to give you ample time then to prepare paano yung pag or explore yung system or platforms to use kasi very different yung ginagamit ng mga ibang companies in terms of the online interviews. No, for one in CDO Foods here, what we usually use is Google Meet. Then the others, I think it's Zoom. Yeah, so better to familiarize yourself kahit anong platforms pa yan. Kasi usually I've encountered yung karamihan, no, I've sent the Google Meet link na, however, on the scheduled time, dun pa lang sila nagda-download ng app and then nagtatawag sila, ma'am, paano po pala mag-enter? Yun, so late na sila dun sa interview and it's automatic minus point because of that reason. Moving on, aside from the tips I mentioned, it is also important to prepare and improve communication skills. There. So, excellent communication skills are essential for workplace success. If you've landed an interview, expect to be asked interview questions about how you communicate and to have your ability to communicate in the workplace tested and evaluated. Regardless of the role, employers seek employees who get along with others and who can communicate well, both verbally and non-verbally. So here are some of the top communication skills the hiring manager will be evaluating. Unang-una dyan would be, number 1 is for this one, anong quick tip that I could share is avoid interrupting the interviewer. Listen to the interviewer first, wait for your turn to say your answer. Number 2 is confidence or self-confidence. Siguro for this one, start with some small or some appropriate small talks just to break the ice. Also, build your self-confidence before your interview by practicing answering questions ahead of time. So, ideally, pwede mo itong gawin by the help of your friend or a family members that are willing to do a role play, no? To role play the part of the interviewer. Third would be empathy. Ano ba yung empathy? When you have empathy, it means you can understand what a person is feeling in a given moment. Ano ba yung sinasabi ng interviewer? Paano ka makarelate dun sa kanyang sinasabi? And this will also show how actively you are listening or understanding what the interviewer is asking. Fourth is friendliness. Pwedeng papasok dito is how are you easy to talk to? Fit ka ba dun sa possible magiging teammates mo if you'll be hired? So, yun yung tinitingnan natin in terms of friendliness. Fifth would be non-verbal communication. So, dahil nga po hindi na tayo nagkakonduct ng physical interviews, more of virtual na. So, very important yung mga non-verbal cues. So, possible pwedeng makita ni interviewers during the virtual interview would be do you appear to be stressed during the interview or uncomfortable all throughout the process? Nakikita natin yun. So, always be aware of your body language and use your expressions, your tone of voice, and eye contact po, no? To build a friendly and respectful rapport with your interviewer. Respect, number 6, would possible dito. Some quick tip to share with you is address the interviewer by name. Paano natin gagawin yun? So commonly, the new trend now is masisearch mo na kung sino yung possible nag-interview sa inyo kasi maliit lang naman yung organizations ng isang HR, no? So possible mo siya makita to different sites like LinkedIn. Pwede nyo akong makita doon and very important din is to research paano i-pronounce yung name no mag-interview sa inyo. Last would be 7th is how clear and concise your responses are. For this one, siguro don't talk too much. Kasi pag mas madami na tayong sinasabi, nalalayo na yung answers dun sa question na ating hinahanap, no? Always try to organize your thoughts and provide clear and concise answers. Before I end this slide, no, I'd like to give you or to share 2 reminders. No? Number 1 would be, don't feel nervous about being nervous. Actually, most interviewers or hiring managers understand that applicants are nervous. Employers want to see how you respond under pressure and how not you act like pressure doesn't exist. So, I usually encounter this, usually mga fresh graduates, no, iba-iba yung reaction. So, for one, yung iba sobrang kinakabahan, they tend to stutter, or minsan nabablock na talaga sila, mental block, no? What they do is, they pause for a moment, hihinga, and then they continue. Worst case would be, sobrang hindi niya nakinaya, siguro pag mga may introverted, no, or talagang may fear of the interviews, they tend to cry dun sa in the middle of the interview. So, ganon yung usually yung na-experience natin. But then, karamihan, they are prepared. Siguro nakakatulong din yung pag-research, and talagang before coming to interviews or attending the interviews, they prepare siguro sample questions to answers. Yan. Second tip or second reminder that I'd like to impart to you guys would be interviews improve with practice. For many people, the only way that they do well in interviews is by doing a lot of them. If you're one of those people, the more interviews, the better. There. I'd like to also take this opportunity to introduce our company to you guys. So, just to give you a brief background, CDO Foodsphere is a food manufacturing based in the Philippines. We have been in the industry for 45 years now. There. CDO stands for Corazon Dairoong, and that's the name of our founder. And we have manufacturing plants both here in Valenzuela and in Malvar, Batangas. We are composed of around 5,000 employees, and we produce frozen processed meat, canned goods, dairy products, and baked goods. So later, I'll be showing them to you. I hope you're familiar with some of them. Let me just read some of the information about the company. Yes. So as mentioned, we are composed of 5,200 employees. We are ISO certified. We have 400 plus SKUs and 20 plus brands. For our vision and mission, we champion mealtimes and unite families through food that calls them home. We live to bring them the freshness and delight of home-style cooking that fills their hearts. We will be the most trusted food company, loved for how our food creations bring and bond all generations of people together. And for our core values, we are passionate about consumers, innovative and entrepreneurial, love for God, integrity, and open and collaborative. Yan. As mentioned earlier, no, yung aming product categories would be most of frozen meat, canned fish, dairy, and sweet preserves. Yan. So, siguro familiar naman kayo or nakikita nito to other groceries or markets mo, no? Hot dogs and sausages, pwede yung idol cheese dog for the regular and Christmas hams. Yan, papasok na naman tayo to peak season or sa per months. Nakatag din dito yung mga new products namin. So, we've newly ventured out to chicken hams or chicken products. Frozen meat, bacon, marinated meats, native sausages. So, kanina nga, no, may chicken ham na tayo. Siyempre, may chicken tocino din. Breaded products like chicken nuggets or burger patties. Chicken deli naman, siomai, kikiam, speedball, siopaw. Canned meats, yung chicken loaf, luncheon meat, and yung corned beef natin, no? So, Carne Norte and Highlands. Daming products. Next is canned tuna and bottled fish, canned mackerel. For the dairy, we have cheese blocks, sliced cheese, cheese balls, and cheese spread. And for the sweet preserves, yan, sweet sugar palm or kaong and sweet coconut gel or nata de coco. Aside from CDO being a business, we have also an Odyssey Foundation Inc. That offers several or 5 programs to give back to our communities. So one would be Gabay Nutrisyon, Gabay Edukasyon, Gabay Kalikasan, Gabay Hanap Buhay, and Gabay Lingkod. Also, we have initiatives for sustainable environment. We believe that we are responsible to keeping our environment clean and green. So some examples would be wastewater treatment, recycling efforts, use of solar energy, and reduction of plastic usage. Usually yung mga single-use plastic. So ang practice namin ngayon for the canteen, before the pandemic, no, talaga, we highly suggest magdala sila ng baonan, no? There. So I think that will be my last slide. Thank you for listening and thank you and stay safe. Forgot to mention, no, if you would like to know more about the company, kindly check our careers website, email, Facebook, and also you may submit your resumes to www.jobs180.com/cdo.
Thank you, Miss Casey, for your presentation. Now to our audience, pwede kayo once again mag-type ng inyong questions dyan sa comment box. But in the meantime, tatanong pa na kay Miss Casey yung some of the frequently asked questions. Okay. So, simulan natin, Miss Casey, dun sa, is it okay if during the interview, yung applicant would ask if they can answer na not in English? So, kung ano man silang comfortable na dialect or language.
Okay, so yun nga, frequently asked question nga, sir, no? It really differs, no, per company. So kung sakaling you're applying for a BPO industry, very much siguro highly recommended ko is to speak in English. If manufacturing companies like ours, we can accept, no, speaking in the language that you're most comfortable with.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Casey, for your answer. Another frequently asked question, naunahan ko ng ating mga mga viewers. Sorry if tinatype niyo siya, tapos kailangan niyo i-delete dahil tinanong ko na rin. What about yung sa yung usually at the end of the interview, there are times yung applicant naman yung sasabihin if may question sila for the
Yes.
HR. Anong mga magagandang itanong ni applicant? Kasi I think from my experience as HR before, di nila naiisip. Wala silang tinatanong. So,
Ako
anong
din eh.
magandang
Ako
tanong
din
nila?
before. Siguro since na-experience ko being an applicant now and an
Mhm.
interviewer now, siguro magandang itanong would be yung what are the expectations dun sa kanila, sa applicant, no? Ano yung mga dapat nilang i-prepare siguro if for the second level interview. And probably would be how long would the application will take para kung sakaling gusto man nila mag-follow up. Kasi usually yung iba, pag-uwi pa lang, magpa-follow up na kagad. So, important siguro to note yung length of or duration of the application process.
Okay. So, follow-up question dun sa pagtatanong about follow-up. So, OA naman yung pagka-uwi pala. So, ano ang recommend nyo sa kanila, Miss Casey, na siguro okay na time bago sila mag-follow
Timeline,
up?
no? I
Mhm.
see. Sige. When I do interviews kasi, ako din, parang I tend to manage expectations of the applicant. So parang sinasabi ko na I'll get back to you for updates probably next week para
Mhm.
then update kayo if you pass or not. So if you didn't, I'll still be emailing you para then you're not left hanging.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
it differs on the position. So if for supervisory, probably mas longer. And if for
Mm.
rank and file, yan, siguro 3 days to 1 week.
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Miss Casey. So, yun nga, depending din sa position, depending din, I guess, sa dun nga, kung nagtanong kayo sa dulo, which we recommend magtanong kayo, lalabas din kung anong okay na, na length. We have a question from the audience, so we'll try to flash it to screen. And here it is. What if tinanong nung interview, ano expected salary? Yan. Good question.
Okay. Actually, yan. Ako din nagtatanong ng ganyan, no? This is siguro on the employer side. We can, for a reference, we can manage if kaya ba namin kayong ofera, no? With the position you're applying for. Kung yung tanong niya is ano yung tamang sagot, actually wala namang tamang sagot. It's more of ano yung acceptable sa'yo na kaya mong tanggapin, no? Kung fresh grad, it differs naman per position, but siguro safe to say around 18 and above. Yan. So, nag-around siya, 15 to 18 and above.
Okay. So, to Cam, I'm not sure if sir or maliit yung profile pic nyo. So, yeah, there's a range. I guess yun din sinasabi ni Miss Casey dahil nga nagbigay siya 15 to 18 depending, again, siguro sa position, depending sa industry. Yan,
Yeah.
yan yung mga kailangan nyo i-consider when it
Yes.
comes to salary question. Sige. So, hintay ko muna. Baka may magtanong pang iba. Baka kasi itanong ko na naman. Sayang na naman yung mga tinatype nyo. But in the meantime, I'd like to show again, na mention ni Ms. Casey kanina, that you could go to jobs180.com/CDO, jobs180.com/CDO to learn more about yung company, to see yung mga job openings nila. Okay. So, ito, may follow-up question si Cam. Is it safe po to answer a number?
Siguro mas best if you could give na lang range.
So, yan, better nga kung range na lang para hindi specific masyado. So, yan. It's good then if, again, alam mo yung range ng industry. Yun din yung bibigay.
Yan.
Especially
So,
for
kanina
fresh
quick tip, no? Do research po.
Okay. Sige, I think this is it for us, Miss Casey. Thank you very much for joining us here today. So, sana, again, sa future webinars. Okay. Thank you, Miss Casey.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Cam.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so That's the second topic. Let's now move on to the third topic, which is new normal work environment. So as you can see sa inyong screen, we have three representatives from Cognizant Technology Solutions. I'll be introducing them one by one. First is Ms. Ruby Jean Garcia Claudio. She's the Associate Director, Engagement Delivery Lead for Healthcare. Healthcare, RJ earned a degree in Bachelor of Science in Computer Science major in Programming. She oversees a combination of the clinical and non-clinical operations in the Philippine Delivery Center. She has a total of 16 years experience in the BPS industry and handled various accounts under her portfolio, including sales, customer service, technical support, financial and banking, and healthcare operations for both voice, non-voice, and quality. She has led and managed setting up pilot accounts or startup processes both within and prior to her tenure at Cognizant. She has also managed end-to-end processes from hiring, recruitment, training, nesting, managing operations, quality, and process improvements in various accounts. So one of our representatives is once again Ms. Ruby Jean Garcia Claudio, Associate Director, Engagement Delivery Lead for Healthcare. Okay, next speaker, we have Sir Jonathan Banaag Jr., Service Delivery Manager for Healthcare. Jonathan is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a Philippine licensed nurse. He has a total of 11 plus years in the BPO industry and handled different voice and non-voice accounts in insurance and healthcare, from non-clinical fax intake, provide their billing and customer service, long, short-term disability claims, processes, and provider services. Prior to joining GCS in 2009, he worked as a nurse for 2 years in one of the tertiary hospitals in Quezon City and was assigned to different units such as pay and VIP units, medical surgical units, OB/GYN complex, emergency department, and stayed for more than a year in the pediatrics unit and pediatrics ICU. Together with RJ, he aided and assisted in the full transition, hiring, sourcing, knowledge transfer, and process training of couple of provider services accounts for Cognizant Philippines. Currently, Jonathan manages a team of seasoned and new voice agents under the Provider Healthcare Services Tower, which caters to U.S. clients under RJ's portfolio. So our second representative, once again, Sir Jonathan Banag Jr., Service Delivery Manager for Healthcare. So last speaker that I will be introducing, Amelia Uyokbena, Service Delivery Manager for Healthcare. Amelia is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She has over 16 years of experience working in contact center industry and has been exposed with different accounts or projects such as CIME, sales, technical support, and healthcare. She has been with Cognizant for 11 years, 7 of the 11 years with healthcare. She has an exposure to knowledge transfer with out of the country experience to help setting up a new process and experience in supporting, developing, and motivating teams to do better and to drive continuous improvements across range of work activities. She is also known for her practical improvement initiatives, which enhance the program's overall effectiveness and optimize the potential of the team members. Presently, she manages healthcare projects under RJ's portfolio, handling expert teams of licensed PHRN and CSR associates. So let's see if all our speakers are here with us now. And let's test then if their audio and video is working fine. Hello,
Hi, good afternoon.
hello, Ms. RJ. Can hear you and see you well. Let's test Sir Jonathan. Can you say hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay, check na rin tayo for your audio and video. Miss Leah, last na. Can you say hello pa? Pwede pa ulit, Miss Leah.
Hello, good afternoon.
There you go. Better. Okay, so that's it. I will be leaving the floor and go backstage. Tapos balik na lang ako for, once your presentation is finished. Thank you.
All right. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. As what Robert has mentioned, my name is Ruby Jean Garcia Claudio. I'm from Cognizant Philippines. Today, this afternoon, I have my colleagues with me. I would like to spend a few minutes of your time to share and speak about the new normal work environment. So it's a very interesting topic because the entire world has adjusted to this new normal since last year. I'm sure a lot of you could relate, right? From doing online shopping, most of you, this is probably your favorite, groceries, and even, our the work that we do on a daily basis. So when we say new normal work environment, the first thing that comes to mind that for me, and the rest of my colleagues is, the adjustment that we have done from being inside the office to moving to the work place inside your homes. And there will be a lot of preparation. So to me, it's not only awareness, but it's also, making sure that you are prepared and also disciplined to be able to execute that. So a lot of you I know are fresh from college, probably some of you are still studying or are already working right now. Um, in fact, I'd like to say good afternoon to our friends from Bulacan Agricultural State College, World City Colleges, and University of the Visayas. I hope you guys are staying safe and all well. So, like what I've mentioned, we are going to give you some tips on the basic things that you should prepare personally on your environment and at the same time technology wise. So, we'd be sharing a few slides while Jonathan is sharing and doing that. We'll go through it in a bit. So very important that we keep in mind personal preparedness is really really important when you speak of new normal work environment. Your mindset, your mental space, your headspace, you should be ready to absorb new knowledge. Not only in learning, but whatever it is that you need to understand in the new work that you're going to do. I know earlier it was mentioned during the other session with the earlier speaker about even preparing for your interview. So personal preparation is very important. When we speak of the new normal. Another thing that you have to be very conscious of is professionalism at all times. So it doesn't mean that we are working from home, that it's a downtime or a relaxed time. Keep in mind that this is still an extension or it's a part of our job, balancing being inside the office or be doing work from home. And at this point, I think majority of the workforce that could execute work from their homes are doing so for health and safety protocol, especially with us because we're in healthcare, so we're very particular about this. We have to keep in mind that we have to be disciplined, and remember that it's still our job and we are within the shift. Third, like what Jonathan has shared here on the slides, I hope you take a few minutes to note down things that will really help you when you start looking for opportunities within Cognizant or in other industries. Active listening and collaboration. So heightened communication is really important. It's so natural that when you work from home, right, you might get lost in doing things on your own individually. Sometimes there's a tendency to work in silos. So the important thing here is you have to note or you have to remember, if you don't reach out or you don't communicate, no one will know if you probably would already be needing assistance, or you might be needing more guidance to be able to execute your job correctly or smoothly. So communication is really important, not only with your supervisors but your colleagues. Last but not the least, you connect and personalize. This will help you maneuver in this new work from home situation, you work from home environment. When you connect and personalize, it naturally also keeps you engaged, right? You naturally feel a sense of belonging and camaraderie to your team, even working remotely at this point. And relationship building and wherever you go is very very important. It will help you to know more about your team, know more about the job that you do, and in return, work becomes a more a breeze. And I think you guys could relate because most of you have been doing remote learning already from the time that the pandemic has started. So, aside from personal preparedness, we also go to environmental preparedness. So, Jonathan will speak a little bit about this. Jonathan, hello.
Hi. Thank you, Boss RJ. So, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jonathan Banag Jr., and I'm a senior service delivery manager in Cognizant Philippines. And I'm here to share some important insights that deals about the environment. So, another area that we should look into and consider for the work from home setup is our environment. To start, we should also set expectations at home in the apartment that you are or in condominium that you're living at where you have your setup. It is always a must to inform the people that you're living with, like our parents, our siblings, significant others, partners, other relatives of your work schedule, so that they're aware and set your respect of your time and also your boundaries. For example, you have a scheduled meeting or training. It is our responsibility to inform them of our work schedule. And next would be a conducive workplace. So conducive where you can work on your schedule with minimal to no interruptions for you to be productive. We can also invest in a good work desk or even look within our house on what we can possibly use. We also need a good area and space with proper lighting and ventilation. That's also important. And also we need specifically a chair, maybe a comfortable chair or an ergonomic one, because these items really definitely help you to focus on your work. And lastly, all the assets, hardwares that the company has issued to you, like monitors, CPU, keyboard, mouse, or even the cables, together with that, we should really treat them as valuable as possible, like your really own assets. So clean them, sanitize them, and really take care of them. Well, definitely those were some insights about environmental preparedness. Another topic we discuss about new normal environment would be technology, and that will be discussed by one of my colleagues, Leah. Hi, Leah.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm Leah, Service Delivery Manager in Cognizant Philippines. Today I'll be sharing some points regarding technology aspect. Right? So, to work effectively from home, you need to make sure you have the required technology. As mentioned earlier, you need to have a separate workspace and an internet service that meets your needs and ways to connect with others. Number one, you need to boost your Wi Fi. Having a fast internet connection is an absolute necessity when you're working remotely. Well, especially when you're working or relying heavily on VoIP or voice over IP or you're always on the phones. Next would be research on best ISPs in your city or area. Know the recommended speed for the type of work that you will be doing. When working from home, also, you may be wondering how to improve your Wi Fi signal. If, let's say, for example, your Wi Fi is so slow or sluggish, you can try these DIY adjustments to your router to speed things up. You can move as close as you can to your Wi Fi router. That really can help. Or maybe you can consider switching to Ethernet. Next would be, and more importantly, you need to have a backup internet connection. All right. Continuity is a critical side of businesses. We need to make sure that we need to avoid any business impact or any inconveniences to some sort, especially in internet disruption. Another aspect and really, really vital is the data privacy and security. Well, if we are in the office, there will be whole bunch of teams devoted to keep our work data safe, right? But right now, it's a different scenario, different situation. It means that we need to find ways to protect our customer sensitive data while allowed for location flexibility. All right. If you're working remotely, confidential corporate information could be at risk. Okay. Regardless of legal or regulatory requirements, it is a best business interest to keep its information safe. How will you be able to do that? First, when you get in the habit of always locking your doors, you have taken an first step towards improving your home office security. Second would be never ever leave your devices or laptop unsecured or unattended, right? Next would be secure your home router and devices. How will you be able to do that? You need to use a strong pin and password on them. All of the things that I have mentioned doesn't matter if you don't use a strong password in your devices, your laptops, or desktop. And lastly, you need to ensure that no one can see or access your devices, preventing and detecting unauthorized access of your computer system.
Thank you, Leah and Jonathan. I hope everyone you're able to get some tips from us for you to be able to, execute excellently in this new normal work from home environment. And if you have time, I know, you're I hope that you are familiar with Cognizant already. Feel free to visit our website. It's a very comprehensive website. We're proud to share with you that we are one of Forbes best Forbes companies and even Fortune 500. You could see all of our awards and achievements over here. I don't want to go through them one by one anymore, but you'll see all of these on the website. And also, just to share with you, earlier I know Kim has mentioned about updating your resume link. So we encourage all of you to do that. And if you want to see the opportunities within Cognizant specifically, please feel free to look at open positions at jobs180.com/cognizantph. We are looking forward to hear from you. We have a lot of different accounts and towers, and I'm sure you're going to be happy to be with our Cognizant family. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Miss RJ, Sir Jonathan, and Miss Leah. To our audience, you could ask your questions now. Type nyo sa comment box. Uh, Please na gawin nyo na siya as soon as possible. Bilisan nyo na. I was monitoring the comments earlier. I think there were two questions we were not able to answer because
Mhm.
we moved on na. So, hopefully, hindi siya
Another
mangyari
topic.
ngayon. Mm-mm. So, in the meantime, I'd like to ask yung some of the frequently asked questions. I think any one of you three could answer. Mostly, I think it's straightforward questions. First question, how do you conduct your training and or yung team building nyo? So, considering yung
Mhm.
health and safety ng mga tao. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's a perfect question, Robert, actually, because that's one of the things that, we have looked into in terms of adjusting. So I'll answer the first question you were asking about. So before the team building, you wanted to know about sorry, you
training
were
and onboarding.
training. All right. So from interview itself, so with us, we do the final interview, obviously, for operations. Once an associate is already selected, we make sure that they have a sense of how the company is by showing them the site itself. So there will be a couple of days or a few days within their first, few days with the company to see how the site is at. It's very safe in terms of our site. Just to let you know, in fact, even us, since we're healthcare, we're very comfortable when we visit the site. Right now, we are almost 100% working from home, very
Mm.
skeletal within the office, just to be safe, and with the recent surge as well of cases, right, Robert?
Yes.
So, with us, what we do, very initial stages in training, few days in the office, but the rest of it is done work from home. We try to do voice and not only voice but video conversations with the associates, so we get to know them, because we don't want to lose the essence of getting to know them in the beginning, most especially in the beginning, because that's where you start to bond, and they are more comfortable too when they have faces to the names, right? Not just the voices. And
Mm.
this helps us, Jonathan and Leah will agree as well. This helps us to also make them feel comfortable to ask questions, because a lot of them, they're shy, they They don't get to see you usually walking through the floor, right? Like the usual working scenario. It kind of changed right now. So we really try our best to make sure that there's a video correspondence that happens, so they're more comfortable, and we have a lot of success. In fact, all of the ramps that we have done from last year to this year, we have received a lot of commendations from the client. We even have a COVID line right now in one of our accounts. And from the first month that it went live, we were already getting a lot of commendation from the C levels of that company. So just to share with you, it's really doable to be able to execute a balance of working from home and returning to the office for safety and health precautions. But it's a two-way street. That's why it's important for all of the applicants to know how important it is to prepare personally your environment and the technology as well, because it's all a factor, and you would realize all of these are ingredients that would contribute for you to be successful in this new normal. For team building, I'll leave that to Jonathan and Amelia so that I don't hug all of the time. That's their favorite part anyway. We have just done a very successful rewards and recognition bonding a few weeks ago. So I'll go on mute now.
So, Robert, maybe just to add to Miss RJ's note on training and in terms of hiring and all. So basically, this new normal, we also conduct new normal training to new hires. We have what to do during having this pandemic. We have that training already in place since the start of pandemic in 2020. So the environmental and health and safety team of Cognizant had that put that in place so that everybody is aware of what to do during this time and this uncertain time. So working from home or even working in office. So we have that in place. And also, just to also share, we have been on and off in office for quite some time, and we have just been 100% being work from home because of the surge of the COVID-19 virus here in the Philippines. But basically, I feel more safer in office than doing groceries and doing going outside of our houses, because basically you have your temperature check. Everything is being done by Cognizant to make sure and ensure the safety of its associates. Even if you're just new or you're an old um, employee of Cognizant. So that's more on the training side. But in terms of the R&Rs and team buildings, actually, Robert, it unleashed all our creativity in 2020, because definitely when you do team building, you do face to face and personal interaction. But 2020 had unleashed us to a real more of what are the things that we can do virtually. So there's Zoom, there's Teams, there's a lot of ways to to be able for us to connect to our associates. So one of the things that we do is we do monthly rewards and recognitions to our associates. But other than that, we do small games with our teams to make sure that the week time, we're able to provide them some games and some of the things that we can really offer to our associates, because definitely they are the ones who are the workforce for the company. But we also wanted to make sure that they are really engaging with this setup. So a lot of them were very seasoned, as I mentioned in one of in the introduction. Basically, around 80 to 90% of our associates are seasoned associates, so they're pretty much aware that there's really interaction personally. But doing the virtual interaction, we really saw their um, creativity, not just us in the operations management team, but also our associates. So it's more of a collaborative work of what they want to do, and we also try to minimize and also think of if that's gonna work or if not.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Jonathan. Um, we have a question from the audience. Maybe this si Miss Leia naman ang sasagot. May I ask how your company takes care of employees against COVID? So there.
All right. So first off, of course, we do daily meetings or daily reminders, advising them to, if you wouldn't be doing anything important outside, you need to stay at home. Also, advising your household members to also do the same, right? Like Boss RJ mentioned, right now, since we have this situation, we do have a surge on the cases. Most of our employees are working at home, so there's really a there's only skeletal workforce inside the office. So besides the daily reminders, we due to the daily meetings that we've been conducting every day, we also check how's their condition, how's their situation at home, and also besides those reminders, would like to also share with you that we do have ongoing plans for our employees, all of the employees, for Cognizant to be vaccinated. So that's
Mm.
already work in progress. Yeah. So besides those
And that's
plans,
for free.
and that's
So
for free.
it's going to be free for all of the employees, Robert. So Leah was so right in saying that Cognizant will be making sure that the vaccine is provided to all of the associates for free.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So, to our audience, yes, very good news if you are considering joining Cognizant. So, I guess to Miss Leah, I guess a follow-up question, but anyone could answer. When mentioning the skeletal force or introducing the new hires to bringing them to the company, what about the safety protocols for those na pumupunta pa rin sa office?
Yeah. So for Cognizant, we are very good in complying in government protocol, meaning prior to reporting to the office, we need to make sure that all of our associates will be answering healthcare or health questionnaires, like we've been doing every time that we'll be entering into an establishment, just to make sure that the person or the people don't have any symptoms. If they wouldn't be able to pass that questionnaire, of course we wouldn't be letting them to enter. We will be advising them to go back at home. And also, since it's a skeletal workforce, we need to make it a point that we practice social distancing, right? So if there's, let's say, for example, 5 seats in a row, you would only expect that in that specific row, there's only 1 to 2 person that will occupy the seats, right? And also, just to share with you, for Cognizant, we sanitize the workstations as frequent as possible. I think the last time that I was in the office, I can see our admin, doing some rounds, sanitizing the workstations even every 30 minutes, just to ensure that that everyone's safe and something like that.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Leah. Unfortunately, this is all the time we have to discuss how you what you do during the new normal work environment. But hopefully, we can invite all of you again future webinars. Besides, the viewers today could still watch the videos later on because it would be saved Facebook namin and still live streamed in Facebook and YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, Miss Leah, Miss RJ, and Sir Jonathan.
Thank you, everyone. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so that's our third topic. Once again, you could go to jobs180.com/cognizantph to learn more about their companies and see their job openings. Okay, so now let's move to our last topic for the day. So earlier we mentioned that it will be given by a representative from DOLE. The topic is labor education for graduating students. I will now be introducing our speaker. He is currently a senior labor and employment tree of the Department of Labor and Employment, Bulacan. Has been working for DOLE since 1980 to present. He took his master's degree in public administration at the Bulacan State University in 2004. A graduate of Bachelor of Business Management at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines in 2002. Let's welcome Sir Lauro Villanueva. Good
Okay,
afternoon, sir.
nadidinig ako?
Yes, Sir Larry. Malinaw po kayo.
Okay, malinaw. Okay po,
Apa.
marami pong salamat. So, teka lang po ipapasok ko lang po aking presentation.
Sige po.
Medyo magano lang po ako. Okay, teka. I-share ko lang po ito.
Apa.
Okay.
Dapat may issue
Ayaw,
po.
bakit?
Matulungan po kayo. So, napindot
Sige po.
na po share screen.
So, bali, share screen.
Apa, dyan sa ilalim.
Share
Pindutin
screen.
mo talagang share.
Teka lang, medyo malabo ang aking ano.
Ayan po,
Ayan po.
naglo-load na siya. Nakikita po namin ang buong screen nyo. So, pwede nyo na po buksan ang presentation nyo.
So, punta po ako sa presentation. Ano ko lang po, ano? Okay
Ayan
na.
po. Okay po. Nandyan na po, full screen na po ang presentation. Malinaw po kayo sa video at audio. So, pwede na po kayo magsimula. Balik na lang ako pagkatapos niya para sa ating Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, okay po. Salamat po, Sir Robert. Po. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ang inyong pong lingkod, Larry Villanueva from Department of Labor, Senior Labor and Employment Officer. We're going to discuss yung labor education for graduating student. Dapat ang isang isang estudyante, dapat prepared siya. Ano ba yung mga batas na pag ako'y pumasok sa isang kumpanya, na-discuss naman ng ating mga practitioner, HR practitioner, pero dapat malaman natin ano ba yung mga batas na dapat kong malaman bilang ako'y isang manggagawa. Ano? We're going to discuss dito yung basic workers' rights. No? Mga minimum standard of law na kung sakali man dapat ninyong matutunan. And what are the duties being employee? Kasi hindi naman puro rights lang, dapat meron din tayong dapat na sinusundan. Kasi pagpasok ninyo, pinasosweldo tayo, but kailangan nyo sumunod, ano ba yung mga dapat nyong sundin. Yan. So, okay. We're going to discuss the following. The labor standard, particularly yung work days, work hours, wage and wage-related benefits, safe working condition, ano ba yung mga rest days, holidays na dapat nating tingnan, ano ba yung leaves na dapat nating makuha bilang tayo isang empleyado, at ano po yung social legislation na minsan, from time to time, ang gobyerno ay nag-i-impose or nagbibigay ng isang batas na ito dapat makuha ng isang manggagawa, no? And also, we're going to discuss the security of tenure. And last, the duties of employees. Umpisa na po natin. Pag sinabi po work days, work hours, lahat po ito pare-parehas. Ano? Ito po yung work days refers to any day during which an employee is regularly required to work. Yung araw na pumasok. Pag sinabi po namang work hours, yung pagbalik tayo sa work days, minsan po may 5 araw, minsan merong 6 na araw, pero hindi po dapat pumasok ng 7 araw kasi yung 7 araw dapat pahinga na tayo. Pag sinabi naman pong work hours, ito po yung 8 oras na dapat tayo ay nasa prescribed workplace. No? 8 oras lang. Sir, bakit po yung iba lumalagpas? Yun tinatawag na overtime. Mamaya i-discuss natin. Ano? So, then, pag sinabi naman pong paano po ba'y bayaran? Ang binabayaran po ng sweldo ay yung mag-impisa po tayo doon sa minimum wage. Sino po ba yung coverage ng minimum wage? Ito po yung lahat ng empleyado. Pagpasok pa lang po niya sa kanilang trabaho, sa first day, dapat po ang kinukubran niya o kanyang salary ay nakadetermine ng minimum wage. Ano po? Ang wage po, ito po yung amount na binabayad sa mga empleyado sa kanilang trabaho, sa kanilang task, piecework man siya, services rendered for an employer. This includes overtime, night differential, rest day, holiday, 13th month. Ito po yung wage. Ano po? Yun pala yan, sabi, paano yung salary? Salary, pwede rin siya. Yeah. Pero ang talagang talagang definition niya sa pagtrabahuhan ay wage. Ano? Yan. Ang nai-prepare ko po na medyo malaki-laki or detalyadong minimum wage ay from Region 3. Although mamaya ipapakita ko din po yung wage from NCR, Rizal, at yung pong nasa Central Visayas o yung mga kauban atin, yung mga gwapo na mga Bisaya. And then ngayon, sa Region 3, magkano po ba ang minimum wage? Nag-i-start po tayo ng 420 based dun sa sector na kinabibilangan. Pero pagdating naman po sa mga retail services, iba naman po sila. Ano? Ganon din po sa mga ibang rehiyon. Kinakategorize po namin ang mga sweldo ng mga manggagawa. Pero po definitely, ang sweldo po ng mga nasa non-agriculture workers ay yun po yung pinakamataas. Ito po yung mga nag-opisina, ito po yung mga nasa factory, manufacturing, lahat. Pero po iba po yung nasa mga retail services. At lalo na po yung mga nasa farm, lalo na po yung mga nasa ating mga probinsya, sila po ay nakakakuha din ng tamang benepisyo or tamang sweldo. Ito po yung para sa mga region ng National Capital Region from 500 to 537. Yung 500 po yung nasa retail and services. Sa Calabarzon po, ito po yung nag-i-start ng 303 to 400. Yung po 303, ito po yung mga nasa agriculture, no? Yung mga farm. Ganon din po sa Central Visaya, nag-start po siya ng 351 to 404. Yung 404 po ay yun po yung pinaka minimum wage dun sa mga industriya. Malinaw po tuloy po tayo. Paano naman po kinukompute ang sweldo pagdating ng overtime? Yan, dito maraming nagkakaroon ng problema. Lalo na yung mga pinagtatrabaho ng lagpas sa 8 oras, tapos ang binabayaran lamang ay minimum. Dapat po pag nagtrabaho kayo ng lagpas sa oras, ang inyong pong kada oras ay dapat bayaran ng 125%. Yung pong sweldo po natin sa ating pong pinasukan, regardless kung tayo po ay nasa minimum or above the minimum, tayo po ay may overtime na binabayaran ng 125% ng hourly rate. No? At kung tayo po naman ay nagtrabaho tayo po ay during the special holiday regs, ito rin po yung formula, but papalitan nyo lamang po yung amount. Mag-start lang po tayo doon sa minimum nila. Ngayon, paano naman po kinukompute ang trabaho tuwing special holidays, regular holidays, at kung ito po yung natapat ng scheduled rest day natin, iba-iba. No? Pag special holidays po pala, ito po ay binabayaran ka ng 130% times the basic pay. Pag special holidays naman po at ito ay pumatak sa inyong rest day o scheduled rest day, dapat bayaran ka ng 150%. Pag regular holiday, definitely ito po yung tinatawag na double pay. Ito yung karaniwan nating nakita kasi pag regular holiday, tingnan po natin sa calendar, it colored red. Pula po yung kalendaryo. Ano po? At regular holiday, which also is scheduled the rest day, dapat bayaran kayo ng 260%. Parang ganito po yung computation sa Region 3. Ganito po yung computation. Ano? Kaya ang laki ng kanilang sweldo, lalo na pag ikaw ay nagtrabaho ng regular holiday which also is scheduled sa rest day, mahigit 1,000 ang sweldo mo sa isang araw. Malinaw? Medyo bumibilis ba? Okay lang. Pag regular holiday naman po where the workers did not report to work, babayaran po siya ng 100%. But, kailangan ng isang empleyado ay pumasok ng day before the holiday. Like for example, May 1, di ka pumasok. Pero pumasok ka ng April 30, bayad ka. Pero pag hindi ka pumasok ng April 30 at hindi ka rin pumasok ng May 1, wala ka po makukuha. Pero pag pumasok ka ng May 1, hindi ka pumasok ng April 30, double pay ka nun. Yan, ngayon. Ang isang manggagawa ay pwede po magtrabaho ng alas 10 ng gabi hanggang alas 6 ng kinabukasan dapat ang sweldo mo dito ay meron kang tinatawag na night shift premium. Ano po ang tawag dito? Kada araw ng iyong pagtatrabaho mula alas 10 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng kinabukasan, dapat hindi 420 ang makukuha mo, kundi 462. May 10% po nung premium na ikaw ay nagpanggabi. Ngayon, paano po ba binabayaran ang 13th month? Ang isang empleyado ay nakakakuha ng 13th month every on or before December 24. Ang tanong, nakukuha po ba siya ng buo kung ikaw ay naka-isang taon? Pero pag ikaw po ay naka-isang buwan, 2 buwan, proportionate lang. Ano? Ibig sabihin, kung kumukubra ka or kung sumusweldo ka ng 12,000 a month, i-divide mo sa 12, pag ikaw naka 2 buwan lamang at ikaw na-terminate, meron ka pa rin 13th month bago ka umalis. Ito ay yung 1/12 times number of months na pinagpasok mo. Malinaw po. Ngayon, ito na bago. Ito yung bagong benefits. Dati po kasi, lahat po ng nagtatrabaho sa mga hotel and restaurant and any companies na nagkakarga ng or nagsisingil ng service charge, dati po ito ay 85 hatian, 85 sa empleyado at 15% sa company. Ngayon po, ginawa na pong batas, ginawa pong 100%. Lahat po ng mga service charge na kinukubra o sinisingil ng isang hotel, restaurant, at any other establishment, ay dapat lahat ng service charge ay mapupunta sa empleyado equally divided. Kasama po ba dito yung management? Kasama po ba dito may-ari? Ay hindi po. Empleyado po ang pinag-uusapan, yung mga rank and file. Ano po? 100% po. Kung nakakubra po sila per a month ng 10,000 na service charge, kung meron pong 10 tao, dito, 1,000 po sila. Yan. And then, ngayon, ano po ba yung mga rest days and holidays? Pag rest day po, ito po yung refers to any rest period not less than 24 hours consecutive or after not more than 6 consecutive days. Kaya po sinabi ko, ang rest day po natin, meron po tayong 7 days a week. So, dapat po doon ay meron pong isang araw na rest day. At yung po 6, yun po yung pinagtatrabahuhan. Ano? Kaya lang, minsan sa rest day, pinagtatrabaho pa rin tayo. Dapat bayaran kayo ng premium na 130%. Ano? Kasi po, hindi po dapat talaga magtrabaho ang isang manggagawa ng 7 araw sa isang linggo. Kasi po yung pagdating po ng 7 araw, ay siya po ay hindi na productive. No? Nawawala na sila sa wisyo, hindi na po siya na makakonsentrate kasi isang araw po sila nagtatrabaho. Minsan, puro po overtime. Diba? Kaya po, dinidiscourage namin yung mga company na magpatrabaho ng 7 days or the 7th day. Sa pamilya naman yun. So ngayon, meron po tayong 2 klase ng holidays. Isa po itong regular holiday at saka special holiday. Pag regular holiday po, meron po tayong 12 sa loob ng isang taon nationwide. Regular holiday po yan. Kaya po nakikita nyo sa screen, yan po yung mga regular holiday. Katatapos lang po natin kahapon ng isang regular holiday, ito po yung Idil Fitir. Movable po siya. Ano? Tapos susunod po siguro by October, ito pong Idil Adha. Lahat po ng yan ay mayroong mga movable date pero po mayroon po mga definite date. At pag pinag-usapan naman po yung special holiday, meron po tayong 5 national special holiday. Pero depende sa region o sa inyong lugar, lalo na dito sa Bulacan, sa amin. Sa Bulacan po, meron po kaming 6 na special holiday bukod pa po dun sa 5 nasabi, nasa screen. Kaya po, ang isang special holiday ay nagiging premium o mababayaran ng premium lang kung ang nag-declare nito ay ang ating Pangulo or ang Kongreso. Pag po ang special holiday ay dineclare lang po ng mayor or governor, hindi po sila makakakuha ng tinatawag na premium. Kasi hindi mo sinasabing hindi authorized ang ating mayor or governor, but the presidente lang po, base sa batas at ang Kongreso, ang pwedeng mag-declare ng holidays. Ano po? Pwede mag-declare si mayor, pero walang premium ang papasok sa kanilang tanggapan. Like ngayon, dito sa amin, sa Bulacan, meron po dito sa Pulilan, holiday po ngayon, pero yung mga nagtatrabaho po ay pwede magtrabaho, pwedeng hindi, pero pag nagtrabaho, wala po siyang premium na 130%. Malinaw. Ngayon, yun po yung mga benefits na pinag-usapan po natin. Sa amin po sa Department of Labor, sa benefits po, pwede po nating medyo maluwagan ang isang kumpanya, pero pagdating sa safe and working condition, it's a no-no sa Department of Labor. Dapat ang isang kumpanya, isang establishment ay sumusunod sa lahat ng safe working conditions na policy ng batas or nasa batas. No? Kasi ayaw po namin na first day mo pa lamang ay magkasakit ka na, ma-injured ka na. Dapat po every employers must provide workers with every kind of on-the-job protection against injury, sickness, death through safe and helpful workplace. Ayan po yung mga sinasabi dyan. In-enumerate ko na po isa-isa. And then, pag sinabi pong safe working condition, dapat po pag merong yung isang kumpanya, meron pong tinatawag na hazardous job, dapat po lahat ng pag-iingat meron. Lalo na yung mga manufacturing, no? Yung mga malalaking kumpanya na gumagamit ng mga contaminants, biological agents, dapat po sila ay merong personal protective equipment na pinoprovide ng establishment. Hindi po dapat magtrabaho sila ng wala yan. Ngayon nga po, di ba? Pagpasok natin sa ating mga establishment, meron na nito at meron pang face shield. Kasi sa sobrang delikado po ng sitwasyon ngayon. Kaya po ngayon, lahat po ng personal protective equipment ay nagagamit ng ating patrabawan. Regardless kung anong uri ng trabaho. Yan. Yun po yun na. Bilang isang manggagawa ay meron po tayong mga iba't ibang klase ng leaves, no? Isa-isahin po natin. Ito po yung mga paid leaves, di ba? Bayad to. Minsan binabayaran ka pa ng cash, minsan nagagamit po siya na hindi ka pwede kang hindi pumasok dahil sa ganito. Number 1, ito po yung service incentive leave. Pag ang isang manggagawa ay naka-isang taon na sa kanyang pagawaan, sa susunod na taon, pwede na siyang gumamit ng 5 days incentive leave. Minsan, lumadami yan. Kung ang isang kumpanya ay medyo malaki, tawag dito, may union na sinasabing hindi lang 5 days ang amibibigay, pwedeng 5 days na sick leave, 5 days na vacation leave. Pero ang tinakda po ng batas ay 5 days lang sa loob ng isang taon. Pwede mong perahin after ng December. Kasi po lumalaki po yan eh. Maternity leave. Ang maternity leave po ay bagong-bago. Lahat po ng mga babaeng na dapat po ay member ng SSS, siya po ay makakakuha ng 105 days na maternity leave. Na dapat po ay ipinapile ang kanilang maternity leave before na kanilang mga anak. Kasi babayaran ka naman po. Either babayaran ka ni SSS ng pool or kung di kaya ng SSS or base sa iyong contribution, yung pong difference ay mababayaran ng kumpanya. Yan, maternity leave, 105 days. Paternity leave, pag ang isang lalaki ay manganganak yung kanyang asawa, binibigyan ng 7 araw na paternity leave ang isang lalaking empleyado kung manganganak ang kanyang asawa. Dapat ito ay ina-apply, hindi yung basta automatic. Sir, manganganak ko yung asawa ko, pero dapat ito ay ipinapile. Lahat po ng leave, pinapile. And then, ano po ba yung solo parents leave? Ang solo parents leave po, pag ang isang manggagawa ay solong nagpapalaki ng kanyang anak, either nawala yung kanyang partner o sumakabilang bahay, no? Na siya ay kukuha ng solo parents leave sa ating local government, DSWD, nabibigyan po siya ng solo parents ID na siya po ay ipipresent sa ating mga kumpanya para po siya maka-avail ng solo parents leave. Ito po yung mga sa mga single parents lang ha. Baka po sinasabi na yung asawa ko ay nadudulan sa kabila pero pagdating ng isang buwan babalik naman. Hindi ka po mabibigyan. Hindi ka solo parents. Violence against women's leave. Ang violence against women's leave, pag ang isang babae ay nagsampa ng habla doon sa taong lalo na doon sa loob ng kumpanya. Kasama po dito yung sexual harassment para po mademanda yung ng haras sa kanya o ng bastos sa kanya. Pinapayagan ka po ng batas na mag-file ng 10 days with full pay na leave. Kaya lang po, dapat mag-file ka po ng case doon sa korte para po maihabla siya. Kasi pag nag-file ka ng case, every other day or every hearing, pupunta ka po doon, mag-a-absent ka. Kaya pinapayagan ko po na mag-file ng leave. And another issue, Magna Carta for Women. Pag ang isang empleyado o isang babae nagkaroon po ng gynecological disorders, ano po ba yung gynecological disorder? Yung meron po problema po sa kanyang breast o kaya meron po siyang cancer at doon po sa kanyang puwerta, ay yung pong pagkababae niya ay nagkaroon po ng gynecological disorder. Siya po ay pwedeng makakuha ng leave up to 2 months with full pay. Kasi may operation po gagawin siguro sa mga babae, ayoko na magkaroon ng leave na 2 months basta wala naman akong sakit. Pero po, sinasabi sa batas, ito po yung binibigay sa mga may gynecological disorder. Ito po yung mga social legislation. Number 1 po dito, dapat po ang isang manggagawa ay merong SSS PhilHealth Pag-ibig. Regardless kung ano pong pinagtatrabahuhan niya. Dapat po merong SSS PhilHealth Pag-ibig. At meron pong mga other social legislation na pwedeng ibigay sa isang manggagawa. Pagtungtong pa lang po niya sa isang pagawaan, dapat may SSS na po siya. Huwag po kayong magtatrabaho kung di pa po kayo nai-enroll sa SS. Delikado. Yan. Security of tenure. Paano po tinatanggal ang mga manggagawa? Ito po sa batas po, meron po dalawang pagtatanggal ng isang empleyado. Ito po yung just cause at authorized cause. Kaya nga po, sinasabi sa Constitution, every employee shall be assured of secure tenure. Hindi basta-basta tinatanggal yung isang manggagawa kung walang dahilan. Ang dahilan ay just cause at authorized cause at dapat dumaan sa due process. No? Hindi basta napangitan ako, tatanggalin kita. Hindi, dapat may dahilan. Dahilan work-related. Pag sinabi pong just cause, ito po yung serious misconduct, willful disobedience of lawful order in connection to your work, gross and habitual neglect, yan, pandaraya, commission of crime, ano po. Ang lahat po ng ito, pag iyong ginawa, pwede ka po matanggal. Wala na po tayong pag-uusapan kasi mayroon kang nilabag di ba? Pero dapat dumaan siya sa due process. Mamaya po, papakita ko yung due process. Pag authorized cause naman po, pinapayagan ng batas ng isang empleyado ay matanggal because pari ka nag-introduce ng labor saving device, ginawang computerized, pwede na matanggal siya manggagawa. Na redundant, 3 accountant, ginawa na lang ng isa. Yung 2 po, pwede matanggal. Niretrench, nalulugi, magsasara, pwede po matanggal. Wala po tayong magagawa doon. Pero pag sinabi po due process, pag po just cause, kasalanan mo, dapat ang isang empleyado ay makareceive ng 2 notice. First notice, notice to employee of intent to dismiss on the grounds of dismissal. Ano kasalanan ko? Dapat dito ay bibigyan siya ng pagkakataong magpaliwanag. Then, pag napatunayan na siya nagkasala, doon pa lang papasok yung second notice. First notice, please explain. Second notice, notice to decision to dismiss. Yun po yung due process. Tandaan nyo kalimitan ng binibigay ng mga employer ay yung second notice lang. Pag wala no first notice, illegal dismissal. Ano po? Pag authorized cause naman po, binibigyan ng isang manggagawa ng 30-day to turnover, lahat-lahat para makapag-clearance para doon sa date ng kanyang termination. Hindi ko mawari ka, nalulugi kami, bukas wala ka ng trabaho. Hindi. Binibigyan po ng 30-day notice. And then next, Paano po ba yung separation pay? Pag sinabi po separation pay, ito yung mga sa authorized cost. Pag sinabing authorized cost, half or 1 month salary per year of service. Kasama na po dyan yung 13th month proportion, last salary, unpaid leave, at ano pa pong benefits na hindi niya nakuha bago siya tanggalin. Pag po illegal dismiss, sinabi po natin na hindi pumasok sa two notice rule, yun pong lahat ng sinabi kong yung authorized cost na makukuha ng isang manggagawa, dapat makuha mo. Illegal eh. Sasampa mo nga lang ito sa National Labor Relations Commission para mapatunayan na illegal ang iyong pagkakatanggal. Pero, meron naman po ang DOLE, through SENA, pwede naman po kaming mag-hearing or magkaroon ng settlement in agreed by both parties. Pero pag hindi po nag-agree, doon na po siya aakyat sa National Labor Relations Commission. Kung may karapatan ng bawat manggagawa, may kaakibat din po itong tungkulin. Meron po 3 tungkulin na sinasabi sa batas: duty to obey o pagsunod, duty to exercise skill and care, at duty of good faith and loyalty. Ano po? Kailangan. Medyo minagriring. Pag sinabing duty to obey, dapat po lahat ng sinusunod mo ay reasonable and lawful. Alam naman po sigurong papagawa sa inyo kung hindi reasonable, lawful, at in relation with your trabaho. Sufficiently known to you. Dapat lahat po na sinusunod mo ay alam mo. Kasi nag-apply ka, alam mo yung trabaho. At in connection with your duties as employee. Yan po yung duty to obey. Second duty ay duty of skill and care. Employee must have the basic competence of assigned duties. Employees must exercise care in carrying out assigned duties. Kasi kaya nga sinabi ko kanina, kung ikaw ay nag-apply, alam mo yung duty na yun. Kaya ibigay mo yung iyong kagalingan para na sa ganun, may pakita mo yung duty of skill and care. Dapat ang management ay constant kang binibigyan ng appraisal or yung performance appraisal. Even ikaw ay 20 taon sa kumpanya at nakita ng management na ikaw ay hindi nagtatrabaho ng base sa kanilang target or yung performance mo, pwede ka matanggal. Kahit sabihin mo na araw-araw pumapasok ka, kung araw-araw naman, di ka naman nagtatrabaho, pwede kang tanggalin. No? Violation of this duty is ground for dismissal if the violation is gross or habitual. Kung talagang hindi ka nagtatrabaho, tatamad-tamad, tatanggalin na kita. And the last duty, ito yung duty of good faith and loyalty. Violated from yung good faith and loyalty, dapat yung nababiolate when there is a gross misconduct, fraud or willful breach of trust, or commission of crime against co-worker. Malinaw ha? Balikan natin yung 3 duty na napaka-dapat nating tingnan: duty to obey, duty to exercise skill and care, duty of good faith and loyalty. Yung binabayad sa atin na mga benefits, wages, dapat ito ang ating pantatapat, yung ating pagiging masunurin sa ating kumpanya. Kaya nga po sinasabi dito, please remember, siguro ako na yung last speaker, assess yourself, lahat po ng mga applicant, formulate nyo yung plans ninyo, marami kayo natutunan kanina, simula alauna pa yata. Always be prepared. Pag sinabing be prepared, lahat para meron na kayong sa resume, alam nyo na yung rights, know the fact, start now, at start right. Malinaw? Okay, sir.
Thank you, Sir Larry, sa presentation. Yan, tapos na po na tanggal na.
Okay, tapos.
Thank you sa ating sa ating audience. Sana napakinggan niyo lahat ng sinabi ni Sir Larry. Yung iilan doon ay ako mismo hindi aware nung pagka-graduate ko. Marami doon hindi ko alam. Tapos ngayon hindi pa pala updated yung 100% na pala doon sa service na dating 85%. So yung mga ganyan na update, mabuting na.
Bago yan, bago.
Sir Larry, may ang tanong ko lang sa'yo, yung paano kapag ang kumpanya ay may nilalabag tapos si si worker, anong pwede niyang gawin dito? Anong una niyang gagawin? Saan siya unang lalapit?
Okay. Pwede naman kami nilalabag. Kung hindi ko na, kung okay lang makipag-usap kay HR, kasi mababait yung HR nakita ko kanina. Di ba? Makipag-usap ka muna. Makipag-usap ka muna kay HR bago ka pumunta sa amin. The usual kasi na ay pag pumunta sa amin, nako, bakit ka pumunta muna dyan? Hindi muna tayo mag-usap. Nagagalit si HR. Di ba? Makipag-usap muna. Pero, doon sa sinabi ko at na merong mga paglabag o may mga benepisyong hindi nabibigay sa'yo, punta kay HR. Bakit po kami walang overtime? Bakit po kami walang ganito, walang holiday pay? Di ba? Sinabi naman po ng batas. Sabi, wala pa kayo. Even 6 months ka pa lang, even 2 months ka pa lang, meron ka ng holiday. Pag nagtrabaho ka ng holiday, even overtime, kung hindi ka binigyan ng pagkakataon ni HR or wala talagang ginawa sa iyo si HR, doon ka pa lang pupunta sa DOLE. Kaya nga lang po ngayon, online na. Lahat po ng DOLE sa buong Pilipinas, pag ang isang empleyado ay merong problema na gusto nilang pag-usapan sa DOLE, pupunta po dito sa sena.dole.gov.ph. Medyo Sena, SENA.dole.gov.ph para mag-file ng request. Sabi natin, tinanggal po ako basta-basta lang. Magpa-file po sila ng request. Kasi po, ang National Labor Relations Commission hindi po tumatanggap ng filing ng case kung hindi po dumaan sa mga local DOLE. Like Bulacan, sa Cebu, ayan. Kailangan po, lahat po ng probinsya ng Pilipinas, may provincial office po ang DOLE. Basta po, magpa-file lang po ng SENA.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, mabuting advice yun nga, huwag kayo masyadong excited, pumunta.
Pumunta lang.
Tingnan natin kay HR muna, baka mabigla.
Kasi maraming dumidiretso kagad sa amin nagagalit. Dapat mag-usap muna kayo dun. Kaya po lahat ng dumidiretso sa amin, eto po nangyari sa buho ko, nakalbo. Joke lang.
Nasisi pa tuloy sila. May question tayo sa audience.
Sige, sir, pakibasa na lang po at medyo
dumiretso na lang Sir Lavi. Itong nasa screen, tanong po sir, pagkusa po bang mag-resign sa isang company, may makukuha po bang separation pay?
Wala po. Ang pagre-resign po, ikaw po yung unless na you were forced to resign. Pag po nag-resign, voluntary, ang isang manggagawa, wala pong makukuha separation pay. Ang makukuha lang po niya ay yung kanyang huling sweldo, 30th month proportion, unused leave, o kung ano pa yung mga benefits na hindi niya nakukuha during the time na siya ay nagtatrabaho. But pag pinag-usapan ang separation pay po, ang resigned workers para po tinerminate siya ng just cause. Ikaw po yung humiwalay. Ikaw po yung terminate sa iyong sarili.
Thank you, sir. So, again, iba yung ikaw mag-decide na mag-resign. Kaysa hindi kayo mabibigyan ng separation pay.
Yes po, opo.
May ibang mga questions sa comments pa, sir, meron dito. Sir, paano yung job contract na 5 months tapos ginawang 4 months ng company dahil nagkamali daw sila tapos kailangan daw sundin yung nakasulat na? Pwede po ba magreklamo?
Kung wari ka nakapirma na kayo, binding na yun, nakapirma, both parties. Diba? So, pero ang 5 months, linawin ko lang, ang 5 months ako, yung 4 months, ay ito po ay para sa fixed na trabaho. Like for example, ikaw ay magtatrabaho lang sa akin. Kasi hindi, yung pong mga fixed na trabaho, hindi siya yung necessary and desirable doon sa operation ng kumpanya. Kami papatrabaho lang sa iyo, gagawa ka lang ng IT station dito for the period of 4 months, hanggang doon lang. Pero pag yung nakapirma na sila, hindi po dapat mabawi kung hindi mag-agree yung workers, di ba? Wala ka sabi 4 months, pero erroneously, nagkaroon ng konting lito, 4 months lang pala. Pero dapat si workers ay mag-agree doon sa ginawa. Kasi hindi mo nang pwedeng mahabulan ng illegal dismissal Kasi ang illegal dismissal, para mabayaran ka ng separation pay, makahabol ka ng separation pay, meron ka 6 na buwan. 6 na buwan. Pwede ka mag-file ng illegal dismissal at mahabulan mo siya ng damages sa korte na. NLRC na. Naman ng 1 month na sweldo mo during the time na nawala, or dadagdag mo pa yung mga attorney's fee, damages, lahat ng sa korte na sa NLRC. Kaya po tinanggal na ng gobyerno natin yung yung 555. Masyado pong ginagamit yung 555, kaya tinanggal po. Kaya yun. Pero po yung 5 months lang, 5 months, 4 months, yun po yung nasa mga fixed na trabaho na may papatapos lang sa loob ng that time.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, yun nga, depende rin kung nakasulat na, nakapirma na, yun, important din na tingnan natin.
Opo.
Sige, sir. Meron pa dito, sir, sa screen nyo. I just want to grab this opportunity since one of the speakers is from Dole. I've been in a private company for 10 years. It was 2017 when I decided to resign. My concern is all about my discovery of my SSS loan balance amounting to 17,000 last 2019. The loan was approved in 2015. I already informed the company and so are the bookkeepers, but until now it's unpaid. May I ask what would be my first step in claiming such refunds?
Okay, first step, 'di ba? Kung kayo po ay regular na naguhulog or meron kayong regular na member ng SSS. SSS, meron po doon na tawag dito, legal department. You can file a separate complaint with the SSS para po doon sa sinasabi ninyo. Or, pwede rin po, yung pera po na yun, pinag-usapan natin ay sa empleyado. Pwede ka mag-file kay SSS, or mag-file ka ng estapa sa korte. Kasi po pera mo yun eh. Diba? Kung sa SSS, papatawag ni SSS si kumpanya, bakit ganun ang ginawa? Kaya si SSS po ang pagpapilin po natin, doon po tayo magpapile ng complaint sa SSS, sa legal department nila. Kung gusto mo naman mapabilis, talaga filean mo ng estapa kasi kinuha yung pera mo eh. Sa'yo yun eh. Diba? Kinanya nila. Okay po, malinaw.
Thank you, sir. Na-mention sa akin, may 2 questions pa tayo. Paano pag na-sign ng contract 1 year, tapos ginawang 6 months?
1 year, ginawang 6 months. Ganun din po. Basta naka-sign na. Pero kung pumapayag naman si manggagawa na gawing 6 months, okay lang. Pero kung hindi ka pumapayag, i-insist mo. Dadalhin mo siya sa dadalhin mo siya sa SENA, dadalhin mo sa DOLE, sa NLRC, breach of contract. Pwede nga sa korte, breach of contract, di ba? Hindi pagsunod sa kontrata. Kukuha ka ng damages. Para yung, kung 6 months na, yung 4 months na natitira doon sa kontrata mo, pwedeng bayaran nila. Pero matagal na yun, litigasyon. At kung ako sa inyo, tingnan natin bago tayo pumirma, Kung problemado si kumpanya, huwag na tayong doon magtrabaho. Sayang naman. Sige po. Meron pong tanong.
Meron pa pong tanong, pero sabihin ko na lang din po sa audience na tatapusin na lang po namin yung hanggang dun sa tanong, hanggang 3:33. Sorry na lang po, hindi na po namin madadagdagan ang mga sasagutin naming question. Okay, so nasa screen niyo po, Sister Ko, nag-collapse sa work niya, tapos until now, nasa hospital, she is paralyzed. Ano ang pwedeng ilaban namin sa amo niya?
Okay, yun. Magandang tanong yun. Nag-collapse siya sa trabaho. Bakit? Diba? Ito ba'y work-related? Diba? Baka may high blood siya or may dating sakit. No? Mas maganda, tama yung dinala siya sa ospital, pero meron naman siyang SSS eh. Dapat si SSS ang magbigay sa kanya ng mga benefits. Like for example, yung hospitalization, yung kanyang hindi pagkakapasok. Diba? Kasi sasabihin ng doktor, ito ang sakit niya itatagal ng 2 buwan. Yung 2 buwan na yun is siya ay binabayaran ni SSS para kanyang sickness benefit. Dapat SSS ang magbabayad, dapat may SSS na contribution si manggagawa. Pero pag wala, at doon nangyari yung kanyang pagkakasakit sa loob ng opisina, kasi baka mainit kaya nag-collapse, isang factor yon. O kaya ay madumi, isang factor yon. Diba? Nabagok, isang factor yon. Si kumpanya ko, walang SSS si empleyado, si kumpanya ang mag-shoulder. Lahat. Kawawa.
Okay.
Kaya nga sabi namin sa mga employer, dapat siguraduhin first day ng kanilang trabaho ang mga manggagawa may SSS na.
Okay. Sir, follow up. Nabanggit po niya na walang SSS. Yung kanyang...
walang SSS?
Opo.
Kung wala pong SSS, sabihin mo sa kumpanya, dapat yung aking pagiging pagkakasakit ay dapat bayaran mo. At doon naman po ako nagkaroon ng sakit Dapat may incident report. Dapat po ay inireport ni kumpanya kay Dole kung saan po nagtatrabaho. May incident report. Mahirap po yun. Diba? Kung hindi po niya nireport, posible mangyari kasalanan ni employer. Hindi niya nireport Kung nireport po niya based sa investigation na siya po ay habang nagtatrabaho, naninigarilyo o medyo galing sa inuman nung last day, yung yesterday, imbestigahan yun. Hindi po siya magiging kasalanan. Pero po, kung work-related yan, sobrang heat, exhausted sa heat, walang ventilation, lahat-lahat kasalanan ni kumpanya.
Sir, follow-up comment po sa same person nandiyan po sa screen nyo.
Opo.
More context sa kalagayan ng
Tendera lang po sa tutuban.
Opo.
Okay, nako po. Masakit sa yan, sa bangs. Diba? Karamihan po ng mga dyan ay walang SSS. Wala po. Demanda nyo na po sa Dole. Dali nyo na po sa Dole. Pasena nyo na.
Okay.
Opo, para po matulungan na po kayo ng Dole. Masabi kasi po ngayon po meron pong batas yung tinatawag na yung sa OSH, Occupational Safety and Health. Pag ang isang pagawaan o isang manggagawa ay nagkaroon ng sakit sa loob ng ay pwede siyang sumingil ng indemnity. Yun po yung medyo malaki. 1,000, hundred of thousand ang habulin. Iiyak yung kumpanya. Hindi na po sa tinatakot kasi po, kaya nga po sinasabi namin sa mga kumpanya, i-ensure ninyo na may SSS ang mga manggagawa. Pag nagkasakit, nasugatan, aksidente, si SSS po ang sasagot, hindi po ang kumpanya.
Okay.
Kaya po yun. Pagpailin lang po natin.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, okay po, thank you sa mga advice nyo. Yun nga po yung mga incident report, yun, yung mga dapat tinitingnan. Question po, tanong po ulit, meron po bang indefinite leave? Ano pong masasabi tungkol sa mga indefinite leave?
Indefinite leave, nako, mahirap po yung indefinite leave. Diba? Ang indefinite leave po, kung talaga kayo ay may sakit, na hindi kayo muna gagaling, there's no such thing as indefinite. Kasi pag indefinite leave, mag-resign ka na lang. Pahihirapan mo pa. Kasi operation na may ma-hamper, kawawa naman yung company. Diba? Kung ikaw ay accountant, nag-indefinite leave ka, sino gagawa ng trabaho niya? Diba? Mag-fix ka ng leave. Para kasi sabi natin 2 months. Di papayagan ka naman. Hindi ka naman babawalan Basta may basihan ng paglilibo na matagal. Kasi minsan ang definite leave ay naghahanap ng bagong kumpanya. Ay wag yun. Dinadaya ninyo yung kumpanya, kawawa naman yung company.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, sir. Last question na po. Sorry po dun sa may nakikita kasi akong comments pagkatapos nito, pero nga po, naubusan na po tayo ng oras. Sabi ko nga po ay sa 3:33 na po na question yung huling sasagot.
3:39 na po.
So, ano po yung paid leave po is hindi po pinapakonsume within a year. Gusto namin mag-file ng leave. Sabi, automatic convert to cash by December. Pwede po ba yun?
Dapat po, lalo na yung tawag dito, di ba may 5 days tayo or ibang leave. Dapat po ito, meron kang sakit, pwede mong gamitin. Yung ano, pare ka, magbabakasyon ka, pupunta ka sa isang okasyon na importante sa iyo, pwede ka mag-file. 5 days before, kailangan i-file mo yung vacation leave mo. Hindi yung pwedeng, bukas ako magli-leave, bukas ko na lang ipapile. Diba? Dapat yun ginagamit. Kung ayaw paggamit, o di no work no pay. Pagdating naman nung time na yun, babayaran din naman sa iyo yun. Babayaran sa iyo yun. Kasi lalo na kung iniipon nila, pangit sa kumpanya na nag-iipon ng leave. Kasi ito, malaki ang susunod na babayaran. Wari ka, 2020, hindi mo binigay yung leave niya. 420. Nag-adjust tayo ngayong 2021, ginawang 450. Ito sa 450 ang computation. Kaya, yung service incentive leave at lahat ng leave dapat pinagagamit. At dapat pinapile bago mo gamitin. Pwede lang yung sick leave. Diba?
Okay.
Papile lang. Pag hindi pinile, magreklamo ka pag hindi pinayagan.
So, yan po ang ating options pagdating sa ganitong problema. Sir Larry, hanggang ganitong oras na lang po tayo. Magpapaalam na po kami.
Okay,
Maraming salamat sa inyong presentation at saka salamat at nasagot niyo po yung mga tanong ng ating sa audience. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Good day, good day. Keep safe, keep safe.
Kaya rin po, sir. Keep safe.
Close ko na po,
close na rin na ang
stop sharing. Okay.
Sige po, i-close na rin po namin yung screen nyo. So, paalala ko lang sa ating audience na itong live streaming ay masasave, recorded at ilalagay sa Facebook page namin, YouTube page, baka may gusto kayong balikan. Lalo na yung website na sinabi ni Sir Larry na pwede nyong tingnan sa DOLE. So, ayun, balikan. And again, sorry po at hindi namin nasagot lahat ng tanong dahil nabusan na rin po tayo ng oras. Okay, so, ayun na, that's it for us today. Naka-apat na topic po tayo. We are glad to be able to share to you yung lahat ng content ng ating webinar. So, thank you for joining us. Thank you to CDO, to Cognizant, and DOLE sa inyong mga presentation. Once again, we would like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Get the latest fashion trends for your corporate attire needs. Check out CEO Store in Lazada and Shopee or the nearest mall in your area. For career opportunities, visit jobs180.com/CEO Group. Okay, so now to close our event, we have again messages from our school partners today. So first, we have message from the representative from the University of the Visayas. We have Philip M. Almanon, BSBA Program Coordinator, CBA Graduate School Program Coordinator.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to have the opportunity to wrap up this very productive webinar. I wish to start by conveying my sincere gratitude to our organizers, Jobs180.com, in partnership with Bulacan Agricultural State College, World City Colleges, and University of the Visayas. In conclusion, today I would like to re-emphasize that when building a career and searching for a job, you must consider multiple factors because human resources departments and managers who conduct employment interviews carefully consider these same factors. Career building is just a term to describe the process of thinking about your professional future, developing new skills through education and experience, and pursuing new opportunities over time. Just make sure you are at your best in working on your competence. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Therefore, your consistent small efforts will matter big time. Again, I would like to thank you all, our students, and especially our speakers. Your active participation in this webinar has been instrumental in building career for our graduating students. Once again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much for the message. Once again, that's Philip M. Almanon, BSBA Program Coordinator and CBA Graduate School Program Coordinator. Next, we have a representative from World City Colleges to give the closing remarks, we have Ms. Russell Itum, the Dean for the Student Affairs of WCC.
Good afternoon. First off, we'd like to thank our speakers, hosts, our guidance office, distinguished guests, and of course you, our dear world citizens. This indeed has been a great afternoon. I am deeply honored to be with you here today and to deliver the closing remarks speech at a time when we are all gearing up for employment and learning the tips and tricks of being part of any reputable workforce. I myself at one point have struggled with being employed because as per feedback given to me then, I did not meet any qualifications. I even applied for a school director position when I was just 24 years old. Yes, I was rushing towards that dream job. Ambitious? Yeah. But I said, why not? As I progressed through life, however, I decided to be realistic, that I should start small. Start small. I signed up as an entry-level online tutor. I even worked as a BPO agent, call center. Those positions, however, did not deter me from reaching the stars, from reaching the top, as I became supervisor and eventually manager, and more eventually, a school director after 15 years nga lang. So how did I do it? It's about constant personal and professional development. There was always constant learning on my part. The coffee that I have to get for my boss, that's learning. Me being asked to present something with short notice, that's learning. Me accepting criticisms because I did a bad job, that's learning. Still learning. Without those things, without those imperfections, I wouldn't have known my weaknesses, and I wouldn't have turned those weaknesses into strengths. Those things actually kept me from rushing. They kept me in the process of learning, and then acceptance, and then self-development, and eventually success. So what about you, dear world citizens? Are you willing to face the music? Are you willing to go into the fray and fight? Are you willing to join the rumble? Diba? Are you willing to learn? So, pray, then work hard, then pray again, then work harder, and work the hardest. May you ever be a student your whole lives. This has been Russell, your Dean of Student Affairs, saying congratulations and good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Russell, for your inspirational message for everyone here. So, just some final announcements. Of course, you can watch the videos, FB page and YouTube page, as earlier said. And make your resume link, apply, go to yung school site mentioned by Sir Kim Chua earlier. So each of you, you have your own individual school sites for school. And lastly, please check yung comment section and your screen right now for your evaluation links, for your evaluation form. For each school, you have a unique evaluation link. So it's in your screen, and also you can look at yung sa comment section. I'm looking at it now, nandyan din siya. Okay, so that's it for us today. Thank you very much to everyone here. Thank you to our viewers. We, of course, wish you luck moving forward, and we wish that you stay safe. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye.